Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead podcast by The Verdict's In. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 17, entitled Home Sweet Home. This is our full recap. We did do an instant cast Sunday night, so check that out. But Gary, now that we're being able to watch for a second time, has your thoughts, opinions changed since Sunday night?
It has. You know, I got a chance to see a lot more stuff. And it's not home sweet home for some people.
Right.
You know, I still got to question Maggie's motives for being back. Especially after hearing her story, how, you know, she went here, went to the lake, went to the beach, had a good time. So, I mean, I understand for a lot of the people that, yeah, it's home sweet home. We finally got it back. You know, we was about to get evicted by the Whisperers. You know, we got our money up, paid the bills. We back in here. But for Maggie, I don't know. We'll talk about it, though.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that it's not home sweet home for her, and the title of the episode being Home Sweet Home. I'm thinking they, you know, didn't really mean that it's genuinely home sweet home. But now that you're saying it, I do definitely wonder if, like, you know, when the instant cast were like, how did Maggie not kill Negan, da-da-da. But Maggie has a child, and she's going to protect that child anyway she has to.
Right.
And just like how Carol was like, I had to let Negan out, Maggie was like, and when she was talking to Daryl later, she's like, God knows if I was here, what I would have done. And at first when I took it, I was thinking she, you know, if she was here, what she would have done, she would have killed Negan. But now I'm kind of thinking of it as the opposite way. Like, Negan is going to be her weapon. And that's how she sees him, like, as a weapon.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
So even when she's coming in, she's thinking, I hate this guy, but at the same time, I know what he's capable of, and I need my child protected by any means way.
Yeah, the first scene kind of set it off. When I first seen Maggie and Negan interaction, and Negan was like, I didn't escape, or hi Maggie, whatever he said, I was like, Negan, shut the fuck up. You know, she don't want to talk to you right now. Like, she's going to kill you. But when Maggie just looked at him and walked away, on the first watch, I took it a different way. Better watch it again. I don't understand, but I have a better understanding why she just walked away and why she wasn't up on edge. And to me, Maggie was escaping something of her own.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely the Reapers and saying, oh, no, they found us and everything like that. She's definitely escaping. And maybe that's why she's going home. Like, that's another play on words of why she's going home. Because now she's like, I need my people to help me. I know these are the people that can help me defeat them.
I need the people that I abandoned.
I wouldn't say abandoned, but
they help me through these times.
Yeah. It feels like Maggie's been gone for so long, but apparently it's only been one season. Like, not even a whole season, or barely just a whole season.
She's been gone a while. Like I said, it's like, you know, we were getting evicted. The Whisperer was trying to kick us out of our home, all 3 locations. And Maggie was nowhere to be found. No call, no letter, no nothing. And as soon as the Reapers evict her, now she's back.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't aware of the Whispers and everything like that. Like, you know.
Yeah, she was escaping her own problems.
Yeah. All right, so we are gonna do this episode slightly a little different from our likes and dislikes. We're just gonna try something out different, and just kind of discuss the episode as a whole, or some of the main characters that were in the episode, and kind of go that way. So it will be technically not in order, chronological order, or giving necessarily our likes and dislikes, but we will still end, of course, with our most likely to die in I Am Fair and Shit, and we'll get to it. All right, so Gary, we have some newcomers today, Elijah and Cole. Let's just discuss them real quickly, because although they were in the episode a lot, they didn't have that many talking roles. Well, Elijah didn't say a word, and Cole spoke just a few times.
Elijah didn't have to say anything.
Okay, so let me first give you a little background, just in case anyone wants to know. We have Elijah, who's played by Oke Imi Aquari, and you may have seen him on Greenland and Cobra Kai. And we just started watching Cobra Kai like earlier this year. Wasn't it earlier this year? We watched like all the seasons on Netflix. And I love that show. I did not recognize him, but he's playing a high school student on Cobra Kai. And, you know, he is 25 years old. So he did look like a baby. When I saw when Kelly pulled his face mask up, I was like, oh, yeah, he does look super young. So young enough to play a high school student. So did you recognize him from Cobra Kai or even Greenland? We just watched Greenland too.
They were playing high school students in Cobra Kai?
Yeah, in high school. Man, if y'all ain't watching Cobra Kai, that show is so good. I just absolutely love it. Like, I binged it. Remember, you gave up on Cobra Kai. I forgot.
I gave up on it a couple of years ago. Or it came out. Yeah, it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I watched it. Just rewatched it.
Gave up on it, and I rewatched it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you gave up on it again. I finished season 3 without you.
Well, I didn't give up on it. You just binged it.
I binged it.
You binged it without me.
It was good. So he's from that, and then we have Cole, who the guy that plays Cole. His name is James Devote, and I have never seen him before, but he plays on a show called American Soul. And then Raising Dion, which is also another show on Netflix. And I did watch a few episodes of Raising Dion, but not the whole season. So I didn't recognize him. But and he's been in a few other things, but that's one thing I do like about The Walking Dead. Sometimes they can get really famous people like Negan or Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And then sometimes they can get these sort of unknown actors.
But familiar faces.
Yeah, but help their career. I mean, look at Rosita. She's now having, her own show, Selena, and although Maggie, Lauren's show didn't work out, she got her own show. So I really kind of I know we kind of laugh sometimes at the Walking Dead characters and like how they, will go to Comic-Con or whatever forever and ever, but like they're really helping people's career there. So
you should laugh for yourself.
I know. Remember I said I just need a guest role. Give me 3 episodes. And the next thing you know, I have a job for life at Comic-Con or Walking Dead Stalker. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. I'll be everywhere.
Right. So what are your overall thoughts or immediate thoughts on Elijah and Cole?
Elijah, I mean, he was a cool character. Came in with the mask on, and he looks like, well, I don't know if he has fighting skills, but he looks like it.
He looks like he had fighting skills because you have the mask on, you have the long trench coat on.
Yeah, he looks like another Jesus.
Yes. And he was silent. So, I don't know, silent, I'm thinking you silent and deadly.
Right.
And then, so I was surprised a little when he started freaking out.
He went full scared.
Yeah, he went full scared. He didn't even go partial scared. He went full scared. You never go full scared.
Never.
So then I start thinking like, okay, they're really trying to show us that this guy is badass because they presented him as badass. And if he's scared of the Reaper, I think their show is trying to say like, yo, these people are going to be scary.
These are bad mofos.
Yeah. Forget about the Whispers. Forget about everybody else. The trash people. I forgot about them, huh? But
well, the trash people wasn't really scary.
Yeah.
It was just disgusting. Yeah. Like, how do you live in it like
on
that?
Whoever side they need to be on at that time.
How do you live at a trash pile? What do you call it?
Yeah, I forgot what the little trash. Yeah, sanitation area. So we have that Cole with the mask. I do wonder why he's wearing the mask and what the story behind that is, because it doesn't, I mean, with us having wearing masks for the past year, a little partial mask, it just doesn't seem like that a full mask, a full Jason mask or whatever would be comfortable to be walking around with all the time.
Right. At first I thought maybe he had scars on his face, something happened, and because he wasn't talking, no words, and he had a mask on, so I'm like, can he talk with his face blown, half his face blown off by was it burnt? There's a lot of things I was thinking. So when she took off his mask and he was just a normal, I don't think she should have ever took his mask off. But then again, we wouldn't have saw him shaking.
Yeah.
I wonder, could they have him shaking with his mask on?
Yeah, that'd be too weird. And so far, I like Cole, and it's funny that you said Elijah was giving you Jesus vibes, because Cole was sort of giving me Jesus vibes too.
Well, when I say Jesus vibes, I thought Elijah could do karate. That's what I meant by that. Okay. He was giving us karate vibes.
Okay. Well, I kind of felt like that Cole was giving me Jesus vibes, like he's sort of the replacement of Jesus. And I've seen some articles and people saying, oh, Cole, could he be this character from the comic book? And as you guys know, we haven't read the comic book, and sometimes you got to be careful of spoiling stuff, because I know people who've read the comics and then they give their expertise. It's sometimes you end up spoiling something in the end. So I'm okay with us not having read the comics, because it's sometimes good just to watch the show and be surprised and see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't get Jesus vibes from him. I got new boo thing.
Definitely new boo thing.
I was
Yeah.
like, hold up, who's he got to replace? Who's he got to be stepdaddy?
Definitely new boo thing. And I've seen that a lot of people saying, like, hopefully he's Maggie's love interest. The only thing is, I guess I have to see how long they've all been together. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because Rick and Michonne didn't hook up for years after being, having been together. So, because I was going to say, if they've been together this long and they haven't hooked up yet, then it's probably not going to happen, but not necessarily true.
Oh, they already hooked up.
I don't know.
If you know everything about them, about our people,
right?
It was some pillow talk going on.
Possibly, you might be right. But we haven't seen them like.
I mean, he knew names and everything. He knew like how did she had no pictures, so it had to be pillow talk. She described the people.
Sleep in the same little trailer thing as she did. So
you know how it go.
Yeah.
When you go back home, you got to put on that little front. You can't just. And plus, your people not gonna let you sleep in the same. They don't know him like that.
Well, we'll get to that because I was really surprised on some other things that happened with them all having just met, or at least her people meeting Daryl and Kelly. But Cole is the first one to bring up the Reapers, and he didn't look as scared as Elijah. But Elijah did just lose his sister. But Cole looked pissed, if anything. He looked mad. Like, what the fuck? They followed us here.
Yeah, they tracked us.
They tracked us. And it was like, damn.
But there was fear there. I mean, there was some fear in that anger.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Kelly. Because she had a pretty big role this episode. As you guys recall, Connie went missing last year. Or that was actually due to Carol's, fooling around, if you guys recall. And Connie ended up getting... Did she something fell on her? Remember
explosion? She got stuck in a cave.
Yeah. So we know Connie made it because we did see Virgil. I don't want to use the word rescue, but we did see Virgil meet with her at the end of last season.
Creepy Bill, Quaalude man.
So I mean it's funny, but I just want to make sure people know we're not definitely laughing at like.
No, we're not laughing at the situation. We're just laughing at the situation.
Yeah. All right, so Kelly has to go with Daryl and Maggie because she's like hoping, while they go meet up with Maggie's people, that she may be able to find new ground or cover new ground and maybe even find clues to find Connie. So Daryl's like, cool. Now, I really did like that Kelly and Daryl, you got to see how close they were this episode. And you got to see that like Daryl, to me, is still looking out for Kelly, not just because she's Connie's sister, but sort of because she is Connie's sister. Like, that's his girlfriend's, quote-unquote girlfriend, sort of potential girlfriend.
That's his lady.
Yeah. So I kind of like seeing their closeness and, like, how they looked out for one another,
Yeah, they're both looking for the same thing.
Right.
And that's why they're out there together. I mean, she didn't come out for no other reason but to find her sister.
But I was sort of disappointed, and I know Kelly's young, and it's never really said her age, so I can't tell is she a teenager or what. But when she left her post, I was like, why though? Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
Why didn't you just wait until everyone woke up, and then you're like, okay, you guys, before we leave this area, can we just spend a little bit of time looking for my sister? Like, yeah. I didn't get that.
But the crazier part? How women do men. Because Daryl forgot all about Rick. Remember he said he never stopped looking? Well, he stopped.
We don't know if he stopped.
He's on to Connie now.
We don't know if he stopped.
Well, Connie, she took priority.
Yeah. I mean, because he did tell Maggie, he's like, I've been looking for her nonstop,
Yeah. He forgot all about old Rick.
But you have to remember, Rick at this point has been gone for years. Like, probably 7 years. Who knows? Yeah,
he better just pop back up.
We'll see. All right, so the thing I was a little surprised on is when the group splits up, because, they see that there's been an explosion or, something in their house, like they can see the smoke and everything.
The smoke, the fire.
And they split up, and Maggie's like, okay, I'm going to go with Daryl, and then you three to go together. And I'm thinking, Kelly doesn't even know them. Like, she just met Elijah and Cole. I mean, I guess.
And really, she just met Maggie, right?
And she just met Maggie as well. It seems like she would have went with Daryl and Maggie and let Cole and Elijah go off together.
Right.
So I was a little surprised that that's how they sort of split the group up. But then I was reading online that maybe I misinterpreted, but from my understanding, what I read online was that they sort of split the group up based on like PPE and who wears PPE behind the scenes and who doesn't. Like there might be some I don't want to spread a rumor, but like maybe if some are anti-maskers, then you're like, okay, you anti-maskers,
get out of here.
I swear that's what I read. I mean, that's how I interpreted the article.
You are up here starting rumors.
That's how I interpret the article. Like, okay, we're gonna have the anti-maskers with each other, and then the maskers that do wear masks behind the scenes with each other, just to keep that distance there. That's how I interpret the article. Maybe I misunderstood.
So, yeah, well, that would mean the whole episode, you only see these two together and this group together. And they've been together this whole episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I'm going to have a third watch.
Yeah,
to see if they came in contact with each other.
I was thinking maybe, I don't know. Yeah, because if...
That's why Elijah's wearing the mask.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
forget y'all, man.
Elijah's like, man, I'm full masker.
I'm putting this mask on.
But then it didn't make sense because if Maggie and Daryl were the anti-maskers, Maggie did sit pretty close to Kelly, and she's a masker. You know?
Yeah, I think that's rumor.
Okay, I might have just misunderstood the article, what they were really trying to say. Other thing I liked about Kelly is giving us a little bit more of her background, her family life. Like, it was sort of sad. Like, you sometimes hear the jokes of, like, when parents have kids and, like, the first kid, they're so worried. Oh, my gosh, be careful. Don't wash your hands. Don't breathe on them, da-da-da. And, like, by the time the second, third kid comes, it's like, hey, here's the kid. Who can watch them?
Yeah.
They're 5 days old.
Everybody.
Yeah,
right.
It's 5 days old. Somebody needs to watch this baby. So usually you hear jokes of that, like how the parents ease up as the kid, you know, as they have more children and get more experience. In this case, it was more of a sad thing for Kelly. Like, she was the quote unquote surprise baby 10, 15 years after Connie was born. And she said by that point, her parents were tired. So it was almost like they didn't really give her that attention. She didn't have a regular childhood.
Right. And that's funny when people say surprise baby. Like you didn't know what you were doing. Like you didn't think there was no chance what you were doing was going to make a baby.
Surprised. Do you not know the birds and the bees? Do you not know how it works? I was just a surprise. Why?
Shit, I'm still potent.
Well, actually, it's so funny when she said they were too tired. I was like, they weren't that tired. They were pretty active. They were doing something, so they weren't that tired.
Right.
But either way, I felt so bad for Kelly when she was saying this. It sounded so sad, like saying now, like, Connie was able to look out for her, even though Connie at that point probably was either a teenager or an adult, depending on how far apart their age is. But it was just sad hearing that story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was good to know a little bit more of her backstory. All right, let's talk about Maggie. Maggie was pretty much the entire episode, and I loved her. I loved seeing her. She's definitely more harder than when we left her, but
yeah.
She was getting to this level also before we left her, because when Glenn died, before Glenn died.
Yeah, I mean, she was already at this level. I think that, well, you know what? I didn't see it like you saw it. She didn't look harder to me. I mean, she still looked like Maggie, but it wasn't the same Maggie.
Right.
I think she was harder before.
Oh, even harder before this.
Right.
Okay.
When she took over Hilltop?
Yeah, when she cut her hair the night that, like, the day before Glenn died or whatever. Remember, she cut her hair. She's like, I don't have time for anything getting my way. Da-da. That's when she was pregnant with the baby. And, you know, all the events that we remember that led up to that. So, yeah, I guess she's different. She's different. I see old Maggie, but I also see a different Maggie. And
she also have a child to protect now.
Okay, so that's the thing I was worried about, and we were saying it too. Like, I know she went over here to fight, but, like, after everything that happened with her and Glenn, and then just everything. Remember how her and Glenn at one point, they're like, we'll never leave each other again because shit be going wrong, and you know how they lost each other and found each other.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that she didn't have her kid with her. Like, I know he's a kid, and yes, normally you wouldn't bring a kid on a mission like this, but in this world, to me, you don't leave your child anywhere because you may not see them again.
I don't agree with you.
I don't agree.
Why would you bring your child with you? You don't even know if there's any more whisperers left. You know, they're still surveying the land, trying to see what's going on out there. They went to Hilltop. There could have been, you know how fast the other group move in.
Yeah.
So you cannot bring a child with you. But I think it's scarier now because now your child can get around. They can walk. They can run. They can get into stuff. Before, when there was a baby, yeah, go ahead and you'll watch him for me, and you're cool with that. But now, you turn your back, the kid's gone, and we saw it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. I guess also just like how you were saying it was dangerous for her to bring the child with her on the mission, but clearly it was still just as dangerous to leave her child back at home or wherever, their little shelter camp that they had held up in, because the Reapers found them there. So I don't know. Personally, me, I think like if all those times we keep having these almost misses and almost I don't know where you are and I thought I was gonna lose you forever, like you would just stick with me. I mean, we saw he had a little knife clip on his belt, baby Glenn, so he knows how to fight. He's not like a normal 7-year-old. He's gonna be like Judith. He's gonna have some skills.
Nobody's like Judith.
Okay. Well, we don't know. We have not seen his skills yet. All right. So one thing I just kind of didn't get why they did it, unless they just really absolutely had to show us Hilltop, is when Maggie's like, I'm gonna go back to Hilltop, and they're like, okay, about that, and then they walk over to Hilltop to show her that it's burned down. Like,
right. They could have told her that.
Yeah, why didn't they just say like, okay, this is what happened. Hilltop is burned down. Shit has been really bad. Da da da.
Oh, Maggie, there's no more Hilltop, baby.
Yeah,
we all here now.
Yeah, we're all at Alexandria. So I just thought that was a little weird and not needed that they had to like go and show her.
Well, it was needed to get that separation, to introduce the other character.
Yeah.
The thing I didn't like about the scene, or not about the scene, but I'm still probably a little confused about Maggie's character, is Maggie, when she was going over all that stuff she was going over, she had like a lot of time, that whole walk to the Hilltop, to tell them about the Reapers, to tell them what's going on. And it's like she kept that a secret. And it seems like the new group she's with know more about us. And when I say us, I mean the originals.
Right.
Know about us than we know about them. Like I was saying, the guy who should be having pillow talk with, he was like, oh, you Darrow, oh, you this or so. Oh, I can't believe Negan's still in here. Like, how do you know about all this? So they know more about us than we know about them. So it's like they're on the run, and they chose us to come hide out at.
Right.
Which, I mean, you see our group already just cleared the Whisperers out. Cleared another group out before them. Like, we can't get a break. Like, Maggie, when you came, you shouldn't have came, under the pretense that you wanted to help us fight. Or you just coming back home sweet home.
Right.
You should have came and said, hey, yeah, there's some badass people after me right now.
Yeah.
Or after us. And we know they're badass because the big guy she fought with.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that dude, if they only send one person out and he take out all those people, picture what two of them would have did.
Right.
3, 4, 5. Like, how many Reapers are there?
She definitely should have told them long before getting to, seeing her people all girled up and dead and, her kids missing and everything like that. It definitely should have came up early on. Like, as soon as they showed her Hilltop, I guess. When they were explaining about Hilltop and what happened, that's when she was like, okay, y'all, I got some problems of my own as well. Like, let me come home. Hopefully we don't track him back. Da da da.
Yeah, she definitely should have said so. That's like you out with a girl, you just start getting your ass whipped, and she's like, oh, yeah. My baby daddy out of jail.
He just got out of jail.
Like, hold up, you ain't tell me this before.
Right. Now, I did like how Maggie was explaining how her and Georgie, before they got separated, they would go and find groups and help them. And that's similar to what they're doing on Fear the Walking Dead as well, or at least their plan was to go find groups, help them. I mean, just sort of what Aaron was doing when we first met him.
Yeah.
They're finding groups, they're showing them how to make the water clean, how to hunt, so I liked hearing that, and that would be interesting if we ever got to see that backstory, like the time that Maggie was missing, to see her life, what it was like. And maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll give us a flashback and they haven't really done that yet, but maybe they'll give us a flashback episode on what her time was like there.
And I'm pretty sure it's coming because the Reapers, like I said, they're some scary ass people. And in order to show us they showed us, but to show us some more about how scary they are, they will have to do a flashback they would have to show us how they took out the whole village Maggie was at. Because Maggie only came back with like 5 or 6 people. So if she was at a village with a lot of people and they took out all those people, they have to give us a flashback with how it happened. And I want to see the little beach or lake or wherever else Maggie said she went to afterwards.
Yeah. And she said they found people there. I'm guessing this is where she found Cole and them. It sounded like she's had a few different groups, because one group got torn down. And then she's like, one group she didn't want to talk about what happened, which I don't know if she was going out of order as far as what group that was. She didn't want to talk about what happened, if that's that last group here, because that's when afterwards she started talking about how they found the ocean and life was good and seeing the sunset and baby Glenn playing in the waves and all that stuff, you know, which sounded so nice and peaceful. And then she's like, and then that's when we found our people, and they needed us as much as we needed them. So one thing she also said that I found interesting was, even if you find them doesn't mean that you get them back. And I think she first was talking about like her sister, like she found her sister, but it doesn't mean she got her back. But I also took it as like, and I think this is when they were talking about Rick and Michonne. And I also took it as, hey, like, you guys may find Rick, but he may not be that same Rick that he was back then.
Right.
And depending on how long Connie's gone, we may find Connie. She may not be the same Connie.
Or she could be telling us something.
Or telling us something about her. Even when you find them, you may not get them back. Like, I'm not the same Maggie that you guys are getting back.
No, I mean, maybe she found a Rick or found a Michonne. And she's telling us, just because you find them, don't mean it's still them.
Like, you mean a Rick or a Michonne, or do you mean the actual Rick and the actual Michonne?
The actual Rick or the actual Michonne.
Now, that would be a far stretch. If she actually found
it's
the real
not really
Rick,
that far, because we already know that there's something wrong with Rick. Either he lost his memory or something, because he's just not going to leave Michonne and his kid.
Right.
So we already know that Rick, it may not be Rick right now. Rick may have took on the traits of the people that he's with.
He definitely can't be the same Rick right now, because if he was, like, yeah, he would have been back. He would have been back a long time ago. But that maybe they're preparing us for the new Rick. And then, like, the last two things I want to talk about is how the Reaper. Okay, so we saw the Reaper. He was sniping everybody, killing everybody, taking them out one by one. And then finally, when he gets to Maggie and Daryl, he's able to, Maggie gets caught up in that, the trap, which I thought was pretty cool. And then he knocks Daryl out so easily, because Daryl looked like a little twig compared to that guy.
Yeah, that's one thing. I said before, I'm getting tired of that. I'm getting tired of it's getting so easy to knock people out in The Walking Dead. We didn't see it happen too many times before, where somebody hit them, they fall on the ground, and now they're just passed out, or just, they've been around too long for that. They have taken a lot of hits over the years, so they can't still be passing out this easily.
Well, the problem I had with it is that we saw him, like, kill everybody else so fast. And then now he knocks Daryl out. He has a chance to get to Maggie. But instead of just killing him immediately, he takes off his jacket. He takes off his net, like, gets ready. And I'm like, wait, wouldn't he have just killed them instantly like he did the other people as well?
Well, he had a knife stuck in him and a bow stuck in him, a little arrow stuck in him, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, and then maybe since he said later on, we thought on Sunday we said something about a boat, but it actually turns out he said Pope marked you.
Okay.
And Pope must be a particular person, maybe the leader, the Alpha, the Negan, or whoever. It'd be interesting, now that you said Rick may be different. What if Rick is Pope? And he does. No, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but like, what if he doesn't have his memory, but somehow he marks Maggie because he recognizes her and he doesn't know why he's marking her?
That'd be interesting.
I was just thinking.
It'll be cool.
Like, who's this Pope,
Yeah, whoever he is, we don't want no part of him.
Right. But it sounds, because then Daryl's like, he was just talking, like, don't worry about, he was just trying to scare you or something like that. So I'm like, no, there's something more to what he said. Pope, now that we know it, we thought it was about something about a boat, but now that he says Pope marked you, it's almost like, once you've been marked, we're going to get you. We're not going to stop.
We're going to get you.
Yeah.
It was just me this time, but there's more of us.
Right. which can explain why he took the time. Like, well, you said he had the bow, he had the knife, stabbed him, and everything like that. But it also may explain why he took the time to take his stuff off, because he was after Maggie this whole time.
Yeah.
And who knows? He may have not even killed her right then. He may have just been trying to capture her.
And you know what's really terrifying about this guy in particular is rather than go down with a fight, he kill himself. Or rather than being taken as a prisoner, I guess.
Right.
He chose to kill himself. So if, like I said before, if there's more of them out there like him, we have no chance in hell. Because these people are not scared to die.
Yep. And he refused to talk. The only thing he said, Pope marked you. So he didn't even, some people are like, okay, I'm sorry, this is why we're doing it. Or, blah,
you
blah.
know his big ass was going to say sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't like the sorry type.
And then finally, when we do meet baby Glenn or Herschel, and we see that he has Glenn's old hat on. Did you notice that? What'd you think of that?
I didn't notice.
I think it's sweet.
I was wondering how he got up in a tree.
His mama hopefully taught him all that stuff. I was getting Hunger Game vibes like this whole episode with the bows, the arrows, they're out in the woods, then him in the tree. I was like, okay.
So this guy taking everybody out and this kid hiding in the tree the whole time.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever of him. All right, I think that about does it. If you guys would like to be part of the podcast, be sure to hit us up. dead@theverdictsend.com. That's dead@theverdictsend.com. You can also hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook at The Verdict's End, and we will be sure to discuss your feedback on the podcast. And today we have an email from Chantel. Very nice to hear from you, Chantel.
It is. It's been a while.
All right, she goes, oh my God, it was so good to hear your voices on the Instant Cast. Thank you. Our show is back and they hit the ground running. I'm not going to lie, I was concerned about these 6 special episodes and how they would play out given the need for social distancing, but I think they pulled everything off really well. I can't wait to hear what everyone else thought. Okay, I didn't know too much because I was busy just watching and taking it all in, but here's what I got. And I don't know how she said I didn't write too much or didn't note too much. She looks like she has some pretty good notes here. All right, so we're going to do these in sections. We have the return of Maggie Rhee. I cannot get over how beautiful Maggie looks and how much of a badass air she has about her. There's something almost hard about her, which I totally get. It isn't a bad thing at all, just an observation. I really love seeing Judith and Maggie hang together and talk. Maggie delivered her. They had a special bond, and I'm willing to bet that Judith knows the role Maggie played in bringing her into the world. Wait, Maggie delivered Judith? I guess I don't even really remember. I thought they were at the prison and damn, it's been so long. I thought it was the little boy, Chandler Riggs or whatever, Carl. I thought he delivered, because remember he had to put the mom down.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Remember the mom, they got stuck like somewhere in the prison. But geez, it's been so long. Because remember Carol got stuck too. But maybe it was Maggie that was with, I don't know. That's like season 3. Good memory. All right, she said, and I love the conversation about the stars. Remember when Carl was teaching Judith about the stars? I think it was season 8. So sweet. I wonder if Judith told Maggie what Michonne is really up to. Probably. Maybe. And then she goes, you guys, when that wagon moved and really Negan's old tired ass on the other side, that fool said, hey, Maggie. And I said out loud, no, bitch. How dare he say anything? What did he think would happen?
He shouldn't have said a damn thing.
He shouldn't have said nothing. Did he think she'd say, oh, hey, nice job taking out Alpha? Unless he was going to fall to his knees at her feet, grovel and apologize profusely, there's nothing for him to say.
That wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, he's lucky she didn't bust a cap in his ass on sight.
Yeah, he should have just ran. As soon as that wagon moved, he saw her, he should have took off.
But, I was also thinking that maybe Maggie not necessarily trusts Negan, but she did walk off with Judith there by herself and Negan next to Negan. I mean, I'm guessing there might have been other people we couldn't see. So she must trust him to an extent where she walked off leaving Judith there.
We mentioned this before, that she had her own demons. And when I say demons, I mean she was on the run for something that she was bringing with her. And it probably was too much to think about that and think about Negan.
Okay.
Because she's probably been through so much since the last time we seen her. So Negan is probably like a small piece of the problem. Very small.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying she must know that he's not like gonna hurt Judith because she walked away, leaving Judith there with him.
Yeah.
All right. She continues. You know, I'm 100% okay with Maggie never forgiving Negan. She shouldn't be expected to.
She shouldn't.
I truly hope that they don't use Negan as a way for Maggie to teach Herschel about forgiveness and redemption. He can learn that by hearing stories about how Tara became a part of the group. Having her back really brings how bad Negan was back into focus. Yeah. What do you guys think? Should she forgive? Will she?
She should never forgive. And I know that's harsh, but I wouldn't forgive. She has a constant reminder every day, her son.
Right. I don't want her to forgive. And, you know, we talk a lot about forgiveness in the real world when, like, murders happen and people are like, the family of the, like, you know, the victim is like, I forgive them or whatever.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
I guess it's easier said than done. And yes, if I don't know, it depends. An accidental murder, yes, you can probably forgive the person. But the gruesome murder that you actually witnessed of your husband, hell no. Like, I can't forgive. You know, you didn't even just witness him kill your husband. You witnessed him kill your friends. You witnessed him torture Daryl. I mean, not necessarily witness, but you've seen all the evil. She was around for all that evil after the fact.
All the evil, all the fear.
Yeah. So, nah. I mean, I
and she has a constant reminder every day. Now, too. She has her son.
Yeah.
And now she sees Negan walking around.
Right. Free. Like, ain't shit happened. So, I get it. I mean, I understand if she doesn't decide to kill him or something like that. I get it. But I would keep up the I don't fuck with you vibes for the rest of my life. You can help us. You can help us get rid of the Reapers. You can do all that stuff. But it still doesn't mean that I'm going to mess with you, you know? All right, she says, I really enjoyed Maggie and Daryl's interactions. I'm happy that they confirmed why she stayed away for so long. And I love that they were able to basically pick up right where they left off. That's her brother, time away. That's her brother. Time away can't change that. All right, Herschel Reed. Oh my goodness. I cannot handle Herschel. His little baseball cap and that playful grin, just like his dad. Super lighthearted, determined, easygoing. He is early season Glenn. Couldn't you just eat him up?
He was early season Glenn.
Yeah. Yeah. Just remember when we met Glenn and you know, him saving Rick's life and just, yeah, I miss Glenn. I didn't realize I missed Glenn until we saw Little Herschel.
Yeah. I wonder if he's as quick. Remember Glenn had them feet.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my fond memories of Glenn, well, there's so many, but I loved when they first got to Alexandria. He had to whip one of those guys' ass. Or he was about to whip one of their ass. Did he whip it? Or he almost was about to. I can't remember, Nicholas or Diane's son, one of them. He had to let him know, like, yo, you don't know me. I'm a nice guy, but don't take my niceness for weakness.
Yeah.
You know, this just good, cool Glenn. Because I was like, Glenn, whoop his ass. Like, and because I think one of them tried to kill Glenn. It was crazy. It was crazy times. Good season. Very good season. But, all right, so she has new guys. Cole, sweet Lord, that is a good looking man. He is yummy. Is he Maggie's new boo or just a good friend? He was pretty pissed about Negan being around, but I feel like a friend would be pissed on their friend's behalf. This could be interesting. Did I mention he is hot? Because he is hot.
Yo, a friend my ass. That's the buddy.
Yeah.
That's our man.
He is a nice looking gentleman, and I don't know, hopefully he will be her a love interest. Maggie, you know, she deserves love, and it's been probably 7 years because the little boy Herschel, you know, well, we know how much time has gone because Rick has been gone for 7-8 years, and that's pretty much as long as Maggie's been gone. Well, Maggie's been gone longer than that, so it's been a long time. She's had time to heal, but we'll see where her heart is, if she wants to even love again, stuff like that. So
she's already loving.
You think they're already hooking up?
He knows everything about the group. They're loving. That's nothing but pillow talk. Yeah. Nothing but pillow talk. He knew Daryl before he seen him. He said, oh, you just look just like she described her. My man.
All right, she has Elijah. At first, I was really annoyed that they were taking so long to reveal his face, but there was definitely payoff in waiting. While I was slightly disappointed that it wasn't struggle braids, I am interested in learning more about him. He has such a handsome, sweet face. He seems so timid and unsure. Beyond the fact that he just lost his sister, do you guys think there's something else going on there, mentally, medically? There's obviously some trauma there that I hope the show takes the time to work through. His mask makes me think of the kid in the movie Us. Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't really know if the payoff, if there was payoff with her taking the mask off.
I think they did it a little too soon. I think it was needed to show how scared he was.
Yeah.
But I was hoping they wouldn't take his mask off.
No, I mean, it's better that they took it off now because since, like, when she took the mask off, I thought it was going to be someone that we knew from the past. So if they waited longer and longer and longer for that mask, like, I feel like with the guy from last season, Beta, they made this whole big thing that he's this famous guy, da-da-da, and I know in the end, Daryl was like, it doesn't matter, or whoever said it doesn't matter, who cares who he is. But I kind of feel like you played this thing of, oh my gosh, who's Beta, and then never showed us who he was, or like what his significance was.
Well, they showed us.
Yeah, but we didn't know. Like, well, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't feel like this mask takeoff was payoff, and I feel the same way about Beta's mask takeoff. I was like, okay, who is he?
I think this one was better. I would have been fine with never knowing who this guy was, or not knowing until probably a season finale or next season, something like that. I think just the excitement or just the unknown was exciting enough. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, could this be struggle braids? Right. I mean, that could have been anybody. In fact, I hope he works out.
Yeah, I hope he works out. I hope he stays. I mean, I feel like him and Cole will stay. And he's so young. Like I said, he plays a teenager on Cobra Kai. He's 25, so we're just gonna say that he's a very young man. I don't know what age he's playing on this show, but he's young. I mean, when she took off his mask, I just thought like a little baby face, it just looked young to me. So we'll see and I want to hear his voice. I want to see if he like has an accent but on Cobra Kai he doesn't. Well, he could make a different accent. So we'll see. All right, she has a few random thoughts that we will go through. When they were pushing the door of the storage container closed, I thought about the time the entire group had to push the barn door closed and hold it to keep the walkers and the storm out. It was right before they met Aaron. There were so many of them then. In this scene, there were only a few. Sad.
Yeah, I'm tired of these strong-ass walkers.
Right. Good callback. I'm tired of them only having, like, I don't know, what is Kelly's weapon? Like a little slingshot, like a little toy. I'm like, what the fuck? When Maggie came and grabbed Kelly's leg and she turned around with her little, I'm like, what the fuck? Why you got that little toy as your weapon? So when they were trying to push the
slingshot is doing damage.
Man, so when they were pushing the door closed, I'm like, what the fuck? Why are these walkers so strong? One, and then two, I'm like, we need Negan's back. This is when you need a long weapon or Morgan's stick, a long weapon, because you could just bash them in their heads, like, from afar.
Right.
So I was like, we need a bat, we need a long stick, some type of a katana, something. So that's what I thought of. All right, 2. What the hell is a Reaper, and why are they such dicks?
Reaper's a badass if that guy's a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't say he wasn't. I don't know. That's weird.
And they never said he was.
That's true.
That's even weirder.
We don't know. Hopefully we'll find out soon.
I'm upset Maggie didn't have that conversation. I was hoping she had that conversation with Daryl afterwards while they were sitting around like, yeah, he's one of the Reapers. This is what happened.
Why do we call him? Why do they call them Reapers? How'd they get that name?
Yeah, and who the guy was that he mentioned?
Right.
Like, Maggie should have had that whole conversation. Instead, they just sat there. Oh, I missed you. Oh, we did good today. I have your back. I don't know what we have her back for,
right,
or have her back from. She never confirmed or denied whether that guy was part of the Reaper group, or whether he was just somebody they encountered along the way. Maybe another ex-boyfriend of Maggie's.
I doubt that, but yeah, I don't know. All right, she goes, who is Pope and why has he or she marked Maggie? Lord, I hope that is cleared up quickly and isn't dragged out for the rest of the series. I think it's going to be dragged out for the rest of the series. Since these are like 6 bonus episodes, I think
it's going to be dragged out.
Yeah.
I mean, just thinking that she didn't say nothing yet, it's going to get dragged out.
Yeah, definitely. We only have like 25 episodes or so to go of the series, because if you remember, season 11 is going to be their final season. I'm feeling kind of melancholy about it. I'm not. And then now that we've seen the Stormtroopers, I think they're laying the groundwork for, clearly they have those Stormtrooper outfits. They were super clean, well made. They have something, they're the key to society going back, I feel.
Maybe.
Crazy Pants still has Connie. Yep, Virgil.
Wow, Bill.
The introduction of Elijah dashes my hope that the stormtrooper-looking people will be able to treat Ezekiel's cancer. As previously stated, and stated on the Instant Cast, there's no way Ezekiel, RJ, Gabriel, Connie, Kelly, Birdie, Sonequa Martin Green's husband, oh yeah, I think his name is Scott on the show, I don't know, Crazy Pants Virgil, and Elijah are all going to exist all at once for too long. LOL. Also, damn. And they all look like people. Shoot. Okay, who is it? Okay, Birdie. I think every time you mention Birdie, I'm like, who is that? I think it's a lady. I don't know. Every time she mentions Birdie, I'm always like confused on who Birdie is. Yeah, that's a lot. I forgot about Gabriel and RJ. Please, RJ's a little baby, but he black.
How do you think about Gabriel?
I don't know. I just forgot about him. There's such a big cast. It's such a big cast. So
but Gabriel's huge.
Virgil, to me, okay, so I looked on IMDb and I didn't see Virgil's name on there, but he's too big of an actor. You don't just bring him on for 1 or 2 episodes, in my opinion.
Spoiler.
I just feel like the guy that plays Virgil is too big of an actor. You don't bring him on for 1 to 2 episodes. So I feel like he's going to be there for a long time. I'm just not sure. Ezekiel.
Yeah, I think his pop-up game's going to be strong.
Yeah.
He's going to pop. Yeah, for real. He's going to pop up here, pop up there.
Right.
They're not going to get rid of him.
Right. And then Ezekiel, I don't know, we all love the kingdom, but his kingdom is gone. So, I don't know. They've been laying the groundwork for that for a while. So, we may get rid of, or they may get rid of Ezekiel and possibly Birdie. And then Scott, Sonequa Martin Green's husband, I think he's kind of been a staple for years.
Yeah.
So I feel like he should just be there. Like he's there, you know?
I mean, he's speaking now.
Yeah, he had speaking roles this past season, so keep him. And then Connie and Kelly, it'd be too sad if one sister, like a sibling, dies again after, you know, the whole Maggie and her sister. So I want them all to stay. I'll say that. I just want them all to stay. All right, she has a few more. Why didn't our whole group try to go to Maggie's grandmother's place by the ocean after Beth died? They knew DC was a lie.
That's a damn good question.
Yeah, because she said her and Glenn always talked about going there after the fact. But maybe, I think, okay, if you think back to when they finally found Alexandria, remember, they were desperate. They were like almost dying, because they had just escaped Terminus. I think Maggie and Glenn had just been reunited. So it's a possibility. And ever since Alexandria, even that was way back in season 5, so many things just kept happening to where they probably never had the time to actually go or consider it.
Yeah, but I wonder, did they talk about it with the group? Or was it just them two?
I think it was just them two. And then remember, when they found Alexandria was a gold mine. It was. You know, beautiful neighborhood. Everything was peaceful. They had walls. It was a gold mine. So that's when Rick was like, yo, if we need to, we'll take this place. We'll take it. All right. And last, she says, did you guys see the ad for the final season that played during the airing of the show? It is just what looks like an empty interrogation room. Maybe Rick is being held by whoever is running that room. Maybe it's maybe it's the CRM people from World Beyond. My brothers watched it and watched Fear. They said everything seems to be tying together. No, I didn't see no trailer. I didn't see a commercial.
I saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So did it look interesting, or?
Yeah, I can say it looked interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
It just look like The Walking Dead to me. It's all right. It's all running together.
Yeah, and The Walking Dead, they have a habit of doing very good trailers. Remember, like I say, when I see The Walking Dead trailers, I get super hype, I get excited, and then in the past, the seasons don't always live up to that trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't reflect it.
Yeah, I mean, in movies and TV shows do that all the time, but Walking Dead has a very big habit of doing it, like bomb trailers.
Yeah, they're the trailer master.
Yeah. So, and who knows, I might have tuned it out. I might have not noticed, because I did see a trailer with Alicia. I do remember that now, like vaguely from Fear.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to watch Fear, get back into it. It is so boring. It's like homework to watch that show. It is like not interesting at all. And I keep trying to watch because they show like posters of Morgan looking badass. I'm like, okay, let me try to watch Fear again. I'm like, oh, this is boring.
I actually loved Fear.
We loved Fear.
I thought it was a pretty good show. I just didn't like the villains.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Fear at the beginning too. There, season 4, I think we're on season 4. That's the season I'm watching. I just not into it. But yeah, the villains sucked. Yeah. Well, one of the villains.
Multiple villains.
Okay.
It wasn't just one.
Remember Killer Chris though? Man, that was
the best villain.
Peak Fear of the Walking Dead. Those first 2 to 3 seasons were so good. All right, she goes, I'm done. I swear I'll do better. No, this is good. This is good. And she was just super excited that the pod is back. So good. We're excited to be back.
We're back, y'all. And we're back, y'all. We're biggity back, and we're back, y'all. And black, y'all.
So, yeah, it's really good to be back. Thank you so much for taking the time to write in, Chantel. It's always good to hear from you. We would love to hear from more of you. So hit us up, dead@theverdictsin.com, or on Twitter or Facebook, The Verdict's In. All right, let's get into most likely to die and I ain't fearing shit. So, Gary, who do you have this week for I ain't fearing shit?
None of them. I didn't see anybody who wasn't fearing shit when the guy came out. Maybe Daryl. Maybe. I mean, we seen Elijah shaking his ass off. We seen everybody else getting killed one by one. We know Maggie was scared as hell.
The Reaper.
Oh yeah, the Reaper. Yeah, but I'm not gonna give him no credit. I'm not giving him no badges. So you know what? I'll give it to Daryl, because Daryl. I mean, this is his second time going up against a giant. We saw him do it last episode.
Yeah, with Beta.
And he did it again this episode. Daryl will protect his people, to the end.
Right.
So I'll give it to Daryl. Who you got?
Part of me, when it first started, I was gonna give it to Negan. I'm like, cause he ain't fearing shit. He showed his face around Maggie and everything. But I'm gonna give it to Maggie. Whether she was scared or not scared, my theories or my opinion on I ain't fearing shit is, even if you are still fearing, you're still fighting. And some people like Eugene, or even maybe Elijah, who knows, they might freak out and freeze up. Even if Maggie was scared or is scared, she was still fighting. And this guy was
I don't
big.
think it was because, she wasn't fearing shit or she had fear, but she was still fighting. There was a child involved. So I think her motherly instincts kicked in.
Whatever the instincts were, she still fought. She got herself loose and she still fought.
Okay.
So I'm going to give I ain't fearing shit to Maggie. And a big welcome back. All right, most likely to die next week. Who do you have?
This is a tough one, because there's a lot of people they still haven't shown. I would think it'll probably be Quaalude guy. I think they're going to find, you know what? That's even if they come back there. I mean, they may go to Eugene.
Yeah.
They may go in that little area. I don't think anybody of importance is going to die next episode.
I don't either. If I had to give it to one, maybe the King. I don't know how sick he is or how fast they're going to see that progression go.
You've been saying the King for a while now.
Yeah, I know. Not that I want him to, but I do wonder. So possibly the King, or maybe some more Reapers.
Yo, hopefully they have a doctor where they're at.
Yes. I mean, they have the Stormtrooper outfits.
Right. Somebody that can save the King.
The Stormtrooper outfits, not only that, they look super clean, super new, so they must be having some place where they can wash them and take care of them. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, that about does it, you guys. As always, we appreciate you listening. We will be back next Sunday with another Instant Cast. Catch us on Twitter at The Verdict's In or Facebook.com/VerdictsIn. We would love to hear from you. Until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.